Home-style scrambled eggs and shrimp in less than 15 minutes. Just a few ingredients for a super easy and yummy meal. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, a home cook bringing you simply delicious food ideas. We are making my mom's scrambled eggs with shrimp today. It was one of my brother's favorite dishes, and I think it is even to this day. I'm adding a few more ingredients that I think will make it a little bit better. At least I think so. To minimize cleanup, I'm going to chop up my onion first. So I have 2 stalks of a green onion, just cutting off the bottoms. And I'm just going to chop them up. Finally, you can leave them long if you like. It's totally up to you. I'm just going to transfer this into a bowl. I have 4 ounces of shrimp. These are size 31 to 40. That just means there are 31 to 40 shrimps per pound. And if you want to use smaller shrimps, you can totally do that as well. But I'm going to cut these down because I think they're a little bit too big. I'm taking off the tails. They've already been cleaned and deveined. So how many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8 shrimp. If you're using smaller ones, you won't have to cut it down unless you want to. So I like to cut them in half. And they give me little curly cues when I cook them. So that's kind of fun. Just gonna put them in some paper towels to make sure that they're quite dry so that when we cook them, the moisture won't steam the shrimp and instead will fry them up. And to make them even more crispy-ish, I'm going to add some cornstarch. So I'll just put this into a bowl. And to keep the shrimp drier, I'm going to add a teaspoon of cornstarch. And if you don't have cornstarch, you can use potato starch instead. Okay, we're just going to set this aside. I'm using 4 extra large eggs. Adding half a teaspoon of soy sauce. And half a teaspoon of oil. I'm using avocado oil today. And I'm going to have to remember to whip it up a little bit just before we pour it into the pan as well. We'll just get it started. All right, let's get started. Turning my heat on to high. I'm making it in the frying pan today because that's what my mom would have used. She very rarely used her wok, but you can totally do it in a wok as well. Okay, once your pan is hot, add a tablespoon of cooking oil. Again, I'm using avocado oil today. Use a neutral oil, not like olive oil. Maybe use vegetable oil or canola oil. Okay, I'm gonna add my shrimp. I want to cook this until it's about 80%, 90% cooked through. Meanwhile, I'm going to add most of my green onions. I'm just saving a little bit for garnish after into my eggs. Back to the shrimp. See how they've turned into these little curly cues? Just makes it a little bit more fun. Okay, I'm going to add this to my egg. You see how the pan is dry? No moisture from the shrimp because we added the cornstarch and we dried it really well. Adding another, looks like I'm going to have to add about 2 tablespoons of oil here. And get our eggs going. And we're just going to quickly move the egg around so that the raw gets cooked. And I like to move everything kind of into the middle. Turning off the heat. When you're using a hot pan and your oil is cold, things shouldn't stick. If it does, it's just minimal. All right, and we're going to spoon this onto a dish. Is that easy or what, guys? Garnish with some more green onions. So my little additions to Mom's recipe was the green onions. The reason why my mom didn't use green onions was because my brother doesn't like them. I'm also adding a drizzle of sesame oil, a little drizzle of soy sauce, and a pinch of ground white pepper. All right, are you all ready for the taste?
Dude, this is the taste. Guys, this is really so simplistic, but so much flavor, so many memories. Like, I think that, a lot of us with a Chinese background or Asian heritage in general, like eggs is kind of like eggs and your favorite protein is like a go-to for any super simple meal. You just pair it with rice and a veg on the side, a leafy veg on the side, and you have like a complete meal. It's like, why do you need to get fancy when the flavors are so good? Oh yeah. Oh, so good. Smells so good. The eggs. Texture so good. And those last additions of sesame oil and the white pepper, subtle but adds to the overall flavor. The mouthfeel, so good because, as I said, the texture of the eggs, a little bit of crisp on the edge because it, on the outside, but then as you bite into it, you get the smoothness and the creaminess of the eggs on the inside. And the shrimp. Oh yeah, look at that texture. Look at that curling. Fancy. Oh yeah. Perfectly cooked. Texture is awesome. And together with the eggs and some rice, it'll be gone in no time. Awesome.
Awesome, thanks dude. That's probably one of the quickest meals you can ever make. If you don't like shrimp, you can substitute with another meat or just leave it out altogether. For the recipe, check it out on my blog, FLO'S.com.